1 a.m. The bedroom was silent. The phone on the nightstand suddenly vibrated like thunder in the dark. I didn't open my eyes. My breathing stayed slow and even. Beside me, my wife Catherine rolled over. She thought I was dead asleep. She fumbled for the phone. The cold light from the screen lit up her face, an expression full of anxiety and longing. She slipped quietly out of bed and went into the bathroom. 2 minutes later she came out, already changed into clothes for going out. The call was from Marcus. I knew the man, Catherine's recent soulmate. The door clicked softly shut. A few seconds later, the engine started downstairs. She drove off in that Ford SUV, disappearing into the middle of the night. Marcus had told her he'd lost his job, fought with his roommate, and was standing on the edge of the Brooklyn Bridge thinking about jumping. Catherine believed him. For that man, she was willing to cross half of New York City at 1 in the morning. I sat up and lit a cigarette. The tracking app on my phone showed her speeding down the highway. The destination was an apartment in Queens. 2:10 a.m. The location showed she had arrived. She didn't go upstairs. Marcus came down. They stayed in the car. I could picture the scene. Catherine would be staring at Marcus's worn, defeated face with those same tender eyes she once used on me. She'd hold his hand and softly tell him how talented he was, how unfair the world had been to him. 2:40 a.m. They started walking around the block. The late-night wind in New York was biting cold. Catherine hated the cold. But now she was probably wrapped in her coat, willingly wandering the empty streets with that man. 3 a.m. They went back to the car. Catherine was a clean freak. She never let me smoke in the car, never allowed snacks either. But now Marcus was crying in the passenger seat, wiping tears and snot all over the leather. She didn't care. She was busy kissing his forehead like she was soothing a frightened child. 3:30 a.m. Catherine started the car. She was coming home. 4:15 a.m. The front door lock turned. I switched off the bedside lamp and leaned against the headboard. In the dark, the only light was the red glow of my cigarette. Catherine pushed open the bedroom door. She took off her coat, bringing in the chill of the night, and the scent of unfamiliar perfume. When she saw me sitting there, she stiffened for a second. "Where'd you go so late?" I asked. My voice was calm. No anger. Sophie suddenly had a stomachache. She didn't have any medicine at home. "I brought some over and stayed with her for a bit," Catherine said. The lie came out smoothly. She didn't even bother showering, just slid straight into bed. What she didn't know was that Sophie had posted photos from her vacation in Miami on Twitter the night before. "Is Sophie feeling better?" I asked. "Yeah, much better. She fell asleep, so I came back." Catherine closed her eyes. Her breathing slowly steadied. Over the next week, Catherine changed completely. Marcus had gotten a taste of it. He realized that as long as he acted fragile, Catherine would show up like a savior. Wednesday night, Marcus said he had a cold. Catherine claimed she had to work late and brought hot soup to his place. Friday night, Marcus said he was afraid of being alone. Catherine said she was going to a friend's bachelorette party, and didn't come home all night. I didn't confront her. That same night, I had all our shared assets notarized and contacted the best divorce lawyer in New York. The day I put the divorce papers on the dining table was a sunny Sunday afternoon. Catherine had just come back from Marcus's place. She was still holding a new shirt she'd bought for him. "What's this?" she asked, staring at the stack of papers. "Severance pay," I said. She skimmed the terms. Her face turned pale instantly. The money I offered was enough for her to live on for a year, but she had to give up all rights to the house. "You were spying on me," she screamed. "No. You just made too much noise running across half the city that night." I stood up and began packing my suitcase. Catherine started crying. She tried to explain. Said Marcus was just a lost kid. Said nothing physical had happened between them. I cut her off. "Catherine, men don't care whether you slept with him. We care where your heart is. At 1 in the morning, you were willing to cross half of New York for him. But when I had a 103-degree fever, you didn't even want to go downstairs to get me a glass of ice water." She froze. I walked out the door with my suitcase. 2 months later, I heard about her through a friend. Marcus hadn't pulled himself together because of Catherine. If anything, the opposite happened. Once Catherine lost her comfortable life, she became irritable and stressed. Marcus was no longer the melancholy poet. He turned into a parasite constantly asking her for money to cover rent. Catherine rented a tiny apartment in Brooklyn. She had to work 2 jobs just to survive, while dealing with Marcus's endless emotional breakdowns. One night, Marcus got into another huge argument and stormed out. Catherine drove out to look for him again. But at a corner, her old Ford crashed into a utility pole. She called Marcus. He didn't answer. He was busy at a bar, looking for the next person willing to run across the city for him in the middle of the night. Finally, Catherine called me. I answered. Jack. I got into a car accident. I'm by the old pier. It's so cold. Can you come pick me up? Her voice was trembling, almost identical to Marcus's that night. I looked at the clock. 2 a.m. You know something, Catherine? I said quietly. The person you're willing to go out for in the middle of the night, that's the one you can't let go of. 2 months ago, that wasn't me. And now, I'm not giving up my sleep. I hung up and blocked the number. Outside the window, New York's night was still loud and restless. But it had nothing to do with me anymore. If you love running through the night for someone, then go ahead, run as long as you like.